annual pitch competition. It's our special version of our monthly Early Risers program, which is a pitch event that we hold for early stage founders to help connect them to what they need to move forward. So we are thrilled tonight to have as our MC Amelia Robinson. I've been reading her work since I moved to Dayton a few years ago, and so I'm always excited to get a chance to work with her. So thank you, Amelia. A quick intro. Amelia is a native of Cleveland, where she learned all about sarcasm and aircraft repair as a student at the now closed Aviation High School. The graduate of Ohio University's E.W. Scripps School of Journalism, joined the Dayton Daily News staff in 2000 after a 3-year stint at the Mansfield News Journal. And as of this summer, she is the newest community impact editor for Dayton Daily News. So Amelia, with no further ado, thank you so much for being our MC tonight, and I will hand it over to you.
You know, it is always fun to work with you because you got that enthusiasm for our business community and startups, and I just love it so much. It comes out of you. Like Audrey said, I'm Amelia Robinson, the Community Impact Editor for the Dayton Daily News. I'm also a columnist and a podcaster. It's called What Had Happened Was, if you guys want to check it out. But I'm not here to talk about myself. I'm here to help with this exciting program about some of our startups in our community. I'll tell you a little bit first about Early Risers. It is a monthly pitch event that allows growing startups the opportunity to pitch their startup to an audience of business and community leaders, research providers, and entrepreneurs. Each entrepreneur gets the opportunity to make an ask of the audience at the end of their pitch. That ask is often connections for warm leads to targeted customers or potential investors. Sometimes it is for help in finding key employees or partners that can help develop their product. At Startup Week, we expand this event to 10 companies, 5 innovation-based businesses, and 5 Main Street businesses. Tonight, we will select a winner from each category. Who will win? This is exciting, right? This is so exciting because it's money. They will win $2,500 in cold, hard cash. So this is exciting for a number of reasons. Each Early Risers Startup Week edition is sponsored by the O'Neill Center, including this one. The O'Neill Center at Wright State University was founded in 2017, thanks to a corporate gift of $675,000 from O'Neill and Associate. The center provides an innovative transdisciplinary experimental learning workspace that simultaneously functions as a classroom, incubator, small business, social impact organization, and research lab in a new model of workforce development. Students deepen expertise via new contexts, which form collaborative relationships across disciplines. They expand their capabilities as part of this work. The O'Neill Center at Wright State serves as a workplace pipeline to the Dayton region. The center provides internships for students that connect them to researchers, businesses, and other organizations through that service. All companies pitching tonight will receive in-kind marketing services from the O'Neill Center. Winners from each round will receive $750 of services. Runner-ups will receive $500 in services, and other finalists will receive $200. So a lot of people are going to come out winners, which is awesome. It's the Dayton way, right? We also wouldn't be here to put on another Startup Week without the support of the amazing title sponsors, and that includes Fifth Third Bank, the Wright State Applied Research Corporation, and the Entrepreneurial Center. Now I'm going to introduce the panelists of judges who are going to pick today's winner and hand out that cold hard cash. They're going to be scoring on a variety of areas, including the pitcher's ability to communicate their unique value proposals, their understanding of the market, their customer engagement and validation, their revenue model, and their pitch. The judges are Lauren Tiffin, who is Director of Strategic Programs at the Entrepreneurial Center, Carlos Marshall, who is manager at the Greater West Dayton Incubator. Belinda Matthews Stuston, director of Minority Business Development at the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce. Pam Cohn, who is director at Aviata Accelerator, Dayton. Erica Waite, who is managing partner at Visna Ventures. We're going to start with our Main Street businesses first. Each of these businesses is going to get 4 minutes to pitch their business. The judges will have the opportunity to ask questions afterwards of all the businesses that have been pitched. So we're going to get ready. Are we ready for this, Audrey? I guess we are. So I'm going to keep going. Our first business pitching is Vegan It Is Eats, a company that provides products to make adopting to vegan and healthier lifestyles more easier than ever. The company is represented by its founder, Rhea Atkins. So I don't know if Rhea is ready to go. You ready to go, Rhea?
Can you see me?
There you are. I see you.
Okay.
You ready to win this money? Win this money, girl.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Rhea Atkins, and I am representing Vegan It Is Eats. I'm sorry. Can everybody still see my screen? I can't see it.
You're good. You can keep going.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So my name is Rhea Atkins, and I represent Vegan It Is Eats. And my purpose is to reclaim your health, to walk in your purpose. And let me tell you, the food is so good that you won't even realize you are eating vegan food. Vegan It Is Eats came from an unexpected venture. I started out on a spiritual fast in which I gave up all meat, all dairy products, and just kind of assessed my life. I noticed that I felt better. I noticed that I had more energy. I noticed that my skin had cleared up. And overall, I just felt better. Not long after that, we had a cancer scare with my mother. The doctors thought that she had cervical and uterine cancer. And so when the test came back and it showed that there were, no signs of cancer, the main thing the doctor just said was she has to find a better way to eat. She has to change what she's eating. So I said, okay, Mom, I just came off this fast. I've got a couple of recipes under my belt. Let's see what it does. Let's see what we can do. So this business actually came about not on purpose. It just kind of fell into my lap. So where there's a need, we have a solution. There are multiple services provided. So we provide meal prep services. These meal preps are not designed just to taste good, but they also help you feel good. They are packed with vitamins and minerals. They are cooked with all of the best locally sourced products, and you'll never have to worry about anything being processed. You don't have to worry about all the additional chemicals because half of the products are pretty much made by hand. We also offer speaking services. We offer team building workshops. We also offer virtual cooking classes. We offer speaking engagements. We cater weddings, funerals. We cater anything that you are like, hey, look, I'm having somebody come. They're vegan. I don't know what to feed them. Call us. We'll be able to help you. These are some of the testimonials. A beautiful woman following her dreams, amazing food, recommended. Rhea knows what she's doing. I don't know what I'm doing because I just have woke up and just all of a sudden I knew. It's taken a lot of extensive time and research. So in addition to my bachelor's in sociology and my master's in management, I also hold a certification in holistic nutrition in which I have had the opportunity to use that and partner with doctors' offices. I've been able to partner with other people in the community to also help them towards their health goals. And now I know you guys are wondering, is she trying to make everybody vegan? That is not the goal. I just want people to think about the food that they are eating, how much sugar is in it, how many carbs are in it, how much sodium is in it. So my call to action is, what do we do with the food that we have? So here is our future business model. We are in the process of producing all plant-based products. We have partnered with some of the local shake shops in the community, and we've also partnered with other businesses in the community to actually locally source our products. What does this do for us? So this opportunity would help us to scale our business, to offer the correct packaging, to be able to offer food in a better platform in a larger degree.
And that is time. Thank you, Rhea.
It's kind of not fair that you made me hungry and we have this Zoom call for 2 hours. So thanks a lot for that. I don't appreciate it, but that looked great. Thank you so much. We'll find out in a little bit if that's a winning project or not. Up next, we have another great startup. We have Charmed by Wrist, a company that designs a beautiful array of stretch cord, wire-wrapped bracelets, bangles, and other accessories using precious stones, gemstones, natural wood, and clay beads. The company is represented by its founder, Carissa Fauster. Hey, Carissa.
Hi, how are you?
Living the dream.
Great. Thank you for the introduction. Hi, everyone. I'm Clarissa, aka Wrist of Charmed by Wrist, where I beautify your wrist with I beautify your wrist and get you charmed by wrist. The problems that I face in the industry of handmade custom jewelry, some of the issues were needing space as I started my business from home. A little bit about my history is I started beading as a form of self-care, and years ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, my sister and I started a business. It was then called Sister Sugar Beads, where we designed some of the stretch bracelets. I'm sorry, could you go to the next slide, please? And we designed stretch gemstone bracelets. We had a setup in the flea market in Trotwood for about a year. And then we grew on from that, went our separate ways, took a break. And then I came back to beading about 2 years ago as a form of self-care. So some of the challenges that I faced with working from home was I needed more space, and I was lacking the space. I was lacking help, and just not really communicating well with my customers, being one person trying to wear all the hats. Next slide, please. And also another challenge is that my website's not fully functional. So I was trying to direct everyone to the website so that I didn't have to run business out of the home as far as customers wanting to come and visit me and shop in a store where I didn't really have a store. So next slide, please. The solution was I opened up a jewelry boutique not far from home, located in Dayton, Ohio. And next slide, please. Some of the solutions I've come up with for the problems that I face is that I need to invest in my marketing and engage more with my customers to meet their needs. They are giving me feedback on what they like, what they don't like, and because it's just me, I just haven't been able to deliver. So another solution is that I have a youth worker starting from Montgomery County soon, and I'm looking to possibly employ more people as I grow in business. Next slide, please. This is just a demonstration of what we do here. I charm pins, writing pins, bracelets, bangles, and also I do wiring around the gemstone beads. Next slide, please. It's just a history of Sister Sugar beads. Next slide shows some of the items that we do have here in the store and why do I want to grow. The next slide, please. I would like to take this opportunity to grow because there is a huge market for the custom jewelry in the custom jewelry industry, and I have the ability to customize by actually giving color options. And if a color I don't have in a gemstone bead, I can make that color out of a polymer clay bead. So that opens up the door for a lot more customization, and especially with the holidays coming. Next slide, please. This just shows what my projections are for monthly sales. If I were to make around 45 to 50 beaded bracelets and sell between 10 and 15 other accessories. Next slide, please, shows my target market, which I will admit I really didn't know what my target market was. I started a brand ambassador program to have some of my nieces and nephews, my daughter, to share my product, get the word out there. And I wasn't really getting any customers from it. And that was when I started doing my research to see who my customers were. So I've identified my customers. Next slide, please. As men, women in the range of 35, 44, single dating, married couples.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I said that's time, Clarissa. Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, though.
Thank you so much
Great
for
pitch.
listening.
Thank you for that charming presentation. Do you see what I did there? That was pretty clever, Carissa. I just want to remind folks before we get going to our next presenter that we have an esteemed panel of judges who will be evaluating their presentation. They include Lauren Tiffin, Carlos Marshall, Belinda Matthews Stetson, Pam Cohn, and Erica Waite. So we have our next person ready to go now. He is representing Safe Sports Mask, a company that provides sports masks and face coverings for athletes and people into fitness. The company is represented by founder Aaron Brown.
Hi, my name is Aaron Brown, CEO of Safe Sports Mask. Safe Sports Mask has made over $10,000 in sales. That's online, offline, and at vendor events. Do you ever have trouble breathing during workouts? Do you ever breathe uncontrollably during workouts? Do you ever run out of breath fast? Safe Sports Mask gives athletes and gym goers the ability to have a focused and controlled breathing during high intense workouts, which allows athletes to focus more on their workout and performance. Our mask helps with breathing control and endurance, helps increase endurance, guys. All around the world, they're telling us we're not allowed to get in places without a mask. We're not allowed to go to the gym without a mask. And in most cases, you have to have on a mask while working out, right? So this is where I come in at. If you're going to work out in the gym with a mask, you want to be sure you're wearing a Safe Sports Mask because it's going to help you out with breathing and is designed for workouts and the gym. Safe Sports Mask mission is to be a go-to workout enhancement tool like the Ab Wheel, Waist Trainer, and Sweatbands for gym goers and athletes. I'm going to get into my customer base. Here's my customers. If you go on my website at safesportsmask.com, you can see reviews. Right here, I post in groups that I feel are best for my product. This is the Columbus Black-owned business group. It reached over 500 likes, made 140 comments, and people were going crazy for my mask. As you can see, this young lady asked for 7 to 8 masks. Here's a look into my following on Instagram and Facebook. Over the past few months, I reached over 10,000 people on my Safe Sports Mask Facebook page. Here's a look into my revenue. My total sales is over $6,000. My online store sessions reached over 4,000. So we plan on monetizing by using Google Ads, email marketing. We want to use Shopify to help with ads, and any social media platforms. Here is an example of an ad that I run. It reached 800 people. 800 people added my mask to a cart, but they didn't decide to buy. This is where I need you guys' help. I need help with branding. I need help with website development. I need help with marketing. I have the customers, I have the following. This 800 could have easily been $2,000, $20,000. We're looking to reach out to influencers to promote my mask. Overall, I want athletes, major athletes, local athletes, fitness gurus to promote my mask. We want to make the Safe Sports Mask, training mask, something that people actually do to help with breathing and increasing endurance. We're looking at, we're already using Facebook ads. We're trying to improve our funnels. We're working on it, and with you guys' help, we can get there. Thank you so much. This concludes.
Thanks a lot, Aaron. I'm going to answer your question. I know you weren't asking me directly, but I do get, tired and out of breath doing workouts, but it's because I'm out of shape, not because I can't breathe.
You have a question?
So I think we're holding questions for later. I'm gonna move on to our next presenter. Our next person is Bless Me Sweets, and they're a bakery that specializes in gourmet cookies, largely targeted to vegans and plant-based eaters. The company is represented by its founder, Sierra Lewis. Are you there, Sierra?
I'm here. You hear me?
Can't see you, though.
You can't see me?
Nope.
How about now?
Hey, Aaron, if you could hit request control up at the top, it says allow.
There you go.
Okay.
Hold on just a second, Sarah.
Okay.
I think we're still on Aaron's screen here. Aaron, there we go.
Are you ready or?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. I'm gonna share my screen here. You see my screen?
You're good?
Okay. So who doesn't like sweet treats? So join me and jump into my world and let's take a bite out of something sweet. Hi, my name is Sierra Lewis, also known as Cece. I am the owner of Bless Me Sweets online bakery. I started as a hobby baker just for families and friends and making my children's cakes. And with the encouragement of my family and friends, I turned my passion of hobby baking into a small business. I decided to go ahead and get my LLC in 2018, also my vendor's license. I always want to pay homage to my grandmother. It looks like her picture's cut off right here. But she's the reason for my baking. Just being in the kitchen with her, you know, churning that butter, pouring that sugar. She's the reason behind my passion for baking, and she's also the reason behind my name. She was a devoted Christian woman, and she had a car, and her license plate was blessed me. And I said, what better way to serve her and to honor her is to keep that name going. So in 2019, I wanted to challenge myself even further. I went ahead and entered a competition, a Dayton Cake Boss competition, just to see if I could get some new talents, you know, meet any other local bakers, learn some new tips and tricks. And I ended up winning that competition. But not only did I win first place, I won what I went to go there for, was to get more customers and to get some long-lasting relationship with local bakers in the area. Since then, I have baked a variety of custom cakes for people in the local Dayton area, as well as Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Columbus. And I also offer custom cookies. So in my mind, I'm thinking, what goes great with custom cakes? Custom cookies, of course. So I've linked up with Synchrony and Toastmasters. I've done their logo cookies. I've done many, many weddings. I am a proud graduate of Chaminade Julienne Catholic High School. So with COVID-19 happening, graduations and graduation parties were kind of ruined. So I knew that was a great target for me. I have a great relationship with faculty and staff there. And I wanted to get, just give those graduates something. So I got a lot of moms from that school. I had a lot of moms from Beaver Creek and Fairmont and Alter to get cookies. I have a background. I've been in the medical field for 11 years. So I was like, well, what's another good thing to promote, which was my Nurse Week cookies. Nurse Week is in May as well. That's like the graduation cookies. So those were a big hit with my nurse friends. And I kept getting questions about, well, do you do vegan cakes or vegan cookies? A lot of first-time moms, a lot of moms in general, they don't want their children to have, on their first birthdays, to have a lot of sugar, or a lot of kids might have dairy allergies, peanut allergies, egg allergies. So I said, the light bulb went off. What great way to set myself apart from other local bakeries than to offer vegan options. So I offer vegan cakes, vegan smash cakes, which also turned into my vegan gourmet cookies, which have been my #1 seller. I now have a little over 11 flavors of vegan cookies. All the cookies are eggless, dairyless, and nut-free. I also offer lactation cookies for those nursing moms. That has been great. And then with that, I was getting in kind of a rut on how can I get all these orders done. I was getting a lot of emails. So I said, why not launch my website? And that's what I did. And since then, launching my website has been the easiest for me and for my customers. They don't have to message me. They don't have to go through all these jumps and hoops to get to me. They don't have to wait for a response. They can just go straight to my email, order what they want. It's fresh. It comes to their doorstep. I do local delivery. I've also partnered with local bakeries like Butter Cafe, the Chicken Spot. They had my cookies there once upon a time. My goal right now is to be able to secure a commercial kitchen spot, a build out of my own. Having or renting a commercial kitchen spot from other businesses, it's very, very expensive. They charge
time, Sierra.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That's some beautiful work there, Sierra. Thanks for sharing it. I really am super hungry now because you put a cake on the screen. So thanks a lot for that. Next up, in our final picture for this round, we have Cousins Meals. Cousins Meals prepares convenient meals made from scratch that are healthy and fresh with tons of flavor for you and your family. The company is represented by its founder, Andrew Choi.
Okay, can everybody see that?
You're good? We can see it?
So I want to start off with a quick story that I feel encompasses the reason why I'm pursuing this business venture. Last year, I cooked Thanksgiving dinner for some of my family, about 16 people, and one of my cousin's 10-year-old sons said, "This stuffing tastes like it went to heaven, was blessed by the hands of God, and was sent back to earth for me to eat." And comments and reactions like that to my food is exactly why I do what I do. Hi, everyone. My name is Andrew Choi, and I'm the founder and executive chef of Cousins Meals. So here's some visuals giving a little insight into who I am and the types of activities I enjoy. In the center is me putting some meals together. I'm a graduate from Wright State University with a Bachelor's of Science in Finance. Fitness has always been a part of my life and something I still enjoy today. I enjoy snowboarding and many other outdoor activities. And best for last, I got married last June and we have a baby on the way. Not too far in the distance past, all I had was an antenna my grandpa gave me for my TV. Every day after work, the only shows I felt worth watching were cooking shows, which is where I gained more of an interest in cooking and learned a lot of methods I still use today. The first major cooking influence in my life, though, was my Korean grandmother. Every time we went over to her house, she always had plenty of delicious homemade food for us to eat. Along with cooking, being a fitness advocate had me in the search of the best way to eat healthy. And along this journey, I've come across some eye-opening statistics that bring even more of a meaning to what I'm trying to accomplish, which is to feed the masses with good, healthy, and quality food. A couple of those statistics that stand out are that 66% of Americans older than 20 are overweight, and nearly 1 in 5 children and adolescents in the US are already obese. So what is your time worth an hour? Would you rather be spending it at the food store or in the kitchen doing dishes? Or with what you're passionate about, spending time with your family or working on your career, etc.? And as you can see, 37 cents of every dollar spent in the US is on food service establishments, meaning lots of people are eating out, compared to 12 cents going towards food retailers, for example, grocery stores. This shows that most people are already seeking alternatives to having to cook for themselves. I cook meals from scratch, all the way down to the seasonings. My meals are for anyone interested in convenience and healthier living. I ensure the meals are fresh, flavorful, and clean of any ingredients that can potentially harm you, and not to mention, they're all gluten-free. I also work closely with industry professionals to design my meals for clients. And here's a little video showing some of the cooking process.
What's up? Working on the Mexican ground turkey right now. Got the, just finished up with some jalapeno. Veggies all nice cut up, looking good. Got the ground turkey cooking over here. I'm not sure if you can hear it or not, but it sounds like flavor to me.
So from start to finish, I ensure the quality of my product in the following ways. I create seasonings from scratch so I can cut out any extra unnecessary additives while maintaining delicious flavor. The meals are portion controlled. The meals are hand delivered and not sent in the mail. And all of this together is where I get my motto, cooking for you as if you're family. My meals range from $10 to $14 per meal. In my first month, which was last month, I had an average of $5.53 per meal. And in month 2, I was able to increase my profit per meal by 8.5%, raising it to $6 per meal. I use a revenue share model with local business owners, for example, gym owners and personal trainers, and other clients through word of mouth. There have been many changes in society that support my current business approach, and it also creates unique opportunities I can take advantage of in the future. Winning this pitch competition would really help me take the next steps in growing my company. It's just me for now, but I look forward to adding more to my team in the near future. In conclusion, even second cousins enjoy Cousins Meals. Thank you all for your time and for putting on this event.
Thanks a lot, Andrew. That was pretty awesome, and I want to try your food. Here's the time now for the judges to ask questions of the panelists. I'm sorry, the presenters rather. The judges include Lauren Tiffin from the Entrepreneur Center, Carl Marshall from the Greater West Dayton Incubator, Belinda Matthew Stetson from the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce, Pam Cohn from Aviata, Erica Waite from Vesta Ventures. Do you guys have questions for our participants?
Good evening, everybody. This is Belinda Matthews Stinson, and I have a question for Rhea.
Yes, ma'am.
Rhea, I am trying to find out, is it more expensive to eat vegan than just normal meals?
It can be more expensive when you buy all of the processed products. And so a lot of those products are, you get a half a bag of cheese for like $7. So when you decide to do vegan and you go strictly by, using your beans, your fresh vegetables, your fresh herbs, it is so much cheaper. And that is how I have been able to have my products and my meals at an affordable rate because I don't use any processed products. I make everything by hand.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is it possible for
everybody.
people to turn their cameras on when they ask questions and answer them?
I'm happy to help with that, Amelia. I've got a question for Aaron from Safe Sports Masks, if he's available.
Hey.
Hey, Aaron. So my question for you is, can you tell us a little bit about the price point of your masks? For example, what does it cost you to make them or to get them, and how much do you sell them for?
It costs $2.70 to get my mask. And I'm selling them for $20. And I also, with logos, I sell them for $30. So I'm making more than 50%. Any other
Thank you.
questions? Well,
While Aaron is on the line, this is Belinda again. Aaron, do you have a patent on your mask?
not at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, this is Pam from Aviator Dayton. My question is for CC.
Hello.
Hi, CC. Wonderful presentation. I wanted to ask for your potential build out, your storefront. Do you have a location in mind?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. Is it in the downtown? Is it where your target audience is currently, or
Yeah, it's
accessible to
actually
them?
it's actually located in the Oregon district. 2 years ago, I tried to get it, and the lady she is out of state. She's in California, so she wanted to get back on this side of town before she started doing work or whatever. But right now, I still want that location. It's 106 East 6th Street in the Oregon district.
Well, I hope you get it. I
Thank
know
you.
Amelia will be a customer. How much of your business is actually, when you found the niche, good job finding the niche in the vegan, how much of that is your business? Percent of that is your business?
Wait, repeat it again.
Percentage for your vegan, how you found the niche that you could sell vegan products, how much of your business is actually that customer?
About 65%.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yes, ma'am.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
I also have a quick question for Andrew, and then I think I'll be done.
Okay, I'm here.
Hi, Andrew. I enjoyed your presentation. I had a question. You said that you do deliver, and so do you have staff to help you with that, or are you doing the delivery yourself? And if you do not, what are your plans to expand? I got a feeling you will expand besides yourself, delivering yourself.
Yes, so the delivering actually is pretty simple right now. I have it set up where it's like a distribution center. So I'm working with a gym in Centerville, Kelly's Body Shop, and we have a refrigerator set up in her place, and I go and put the meals in her fridge, and then people come to her location or to my house to pick them up. So in the future, it will be a little bit of a better process where there will be more of distribution centers, not going house to house to everybody that orders. So it needs to be in more of like a highly tracked area, I guess, that a lot of people go to, but they frequent all the time. So at least once a week, like a gym, at least I hope you're going once a week, but at least once a week, you're going to a location where you can go pick them up. So in the future, I have very big plans of where it's going to go, but yes, I will be hiring people. The first person I'm going to hire is somebody to help me with cooking. It will be getting to the point soon enough that I'm going to need somebody else with that. And then distribution and things like that will be passed on to other people.
Thank you. I enjoyed your presentation. Best
Thank
of luck.
I have a quick question about Charmed by Risk. Excuse me.
Hi.
Hi there. So you showed us some of your revenue projections with the bar chart. Do you have a sense for what your profit margin is going to be?
I am still working on that. I have my projections, but yeah, still kind of working on the numbers.
Okay. What's your market traction like? How many have you sold?
I'm sorry, what
How
was
many
that?
have you sold so far?
How many have I sold? Oh
Yep.
gosh. I don't know. I've been doing this for so long. I don't know. I have all my paperwork set aside for the youth worker to help me get in order with all my numbers. I have like all my orders that I want to have her put into a database for me so that I can capture what I've done this year.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, this is Carlos. My question is for Aaron. Two questions for Aaron, actually. The first is you talked extensively about how the mask was conducive and really a great market fit during COVID-19. But do you envision that there will be an ongoing market for this, or how do you plan to pivot your business model post-COVID? And then secondly, what differentiates your mask, your sports mask, from any other mask that we might be able to find out there on the market?
Okay, so of course I did a bunch of sales during COVID, but I'm promoting my mask as the next big gym mask. The mask helps with breathing and it increases your endurance. So I want to get that training big. I want people to speak up about it. I want fitness people to actually show how it benefits people and to get more people wearing it. And if I can show influencers wearing my mask and liking my mask, I can get other people to support my mask and kind of make it something that we're doing in the workout community, because you know we have waist trainers and things like that to help enhance with workouts. So I want to make it popular because it works, but it's not popular. So I want to create that, and with Instagram, Facebook ads, I can create that. And your second question, could you repeat the second question again? You muted. I'm sorry, you muted.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's good. Thank you.
Okay.
Aaron, I have a follow-up question for you. So you mentioned that it works. That's a point you've made pretty clearly. How do you know it works? Is it, how does it work? And have there been any validation studies?
Great question. I researched. I wear them. I work out all the time, and I have my brother who's a physical trainer. He has bought more masks from me than any other person that ever bought a mask from me. So what it does, what we found out, it controls our breathing, and it teaches how to enhance our breathing. And then once we take off our mask, we can run faster, we can run longer, because the breathing is more controlled compared to breathing all over the place. So I think it teaches you how to breathe, and also it's conditioning as well. So it's adding that extra stress, and that it can make you a better athlete at the end of the day.
Got it. Thank you.
I have another question. This question is for Clarissa. Clarissa, I believe that you talked about your market analysis study, and you indicated a certain number of sales that you needed to make on a per month basis to be roughly around $5,000 in sales per month. Currently, where are you at in terms of sales per month? And you also talked about that you were kind of preliminary establishing your market audience of individuals from 35 to 45 years old. Do you believe that market will continue to grow your revenue strategy, or do you believe that you need to expand into other target demographics?
I believe that that is the market that, according to all of the insights from social media, I did the brand ambassador program that I started was kind of, it was preliminary, trying to figure out what the niche was. And so my brand ambassadors are too young, I think. And that was kind of what made me dig a little further to figure out what the market was. So I think that that is a steady market from the research that I'm doing with Facebook and with Instagram and my Google Analytics. All of that that's the target market. And I'm sorry, what was the other part of your question?
Yeah, the other part of thank you for that answer. The other part of the question was that you indicated that you indicated about how many sales you need to make per month to hit $5,000 a month in sale, and where are you currently at in terms of sales per month, and what are the gaps that you need to be able to reach that target objective?
Okay, right now sales are low due to COVID. With me getting the space, I really wasn't ready for it. It just kind of happened. So I thought that me having a space that my customers would be like, voila, but that didn't happen. So I think that where I'm trying to get that customer reach back is needing help, more hands-on with engaging with the customers, needing more hands because I can't keep up with the demand when I do have the customers. Last year I did a lot of vending events, so I wasn't really in a spot. I was kind of like just out there pushing my name, so nobody really knows where I am. I think that the marketing, stepping up my marketing will definitely help me to reach more customers. I do have email lists as well that I have the youth worker that's going to be starting. I'm going to have her putting the email list together so that I can get my marketing, get more customers and reach the customers that I already have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, John, do I have time for a question for Ria? I think so.
Yeah, go
I'll
ahead.
Go ahead and awesome. Hey, Ria, I've got a couple questions for you.
Yes.
First of all, what's your price point on your meals?
So each meal is about $15 per meal, unless someone has specific medicine or something that's of course within their dosage that they would like add. Then that's where we kind of get into a little bit of a difference right there.
Okay, yeah, there's something there. Yeah, that's interesting. What about traction in some of the different areas of business that you mentioned? So you mentioned catering, meal prep, cooking classes online. Like, which of those do you see the most traction in?
Oh, goodness. I would say they all have become popular in their own season. So wedding season, graduation season, catering was much, much more popular. Cooking classes, now that people are at home, people are having girls' night. They're figuring out a new way to have date night. I do a lot of couple anniversary interactions. So it really just depends. COVID has really pushed the more virtual side of things versus the in-person side of things.
Yeah, gotcha.
Ria, I have you on. This is Pamela again.
Hi.
Hi. So you said your meals were they have unprocessed, correct? And so do you, outside of COVID, were they normally delivery, pickup? How did you handle that?
So prior to COVID, I did do delivery. I still offer delivery on certain times, depending, because I also serve a lot of people that are elderly. And so my idea is not only for it to be affordable, but I also want it to be efficient for them. You know, like my grandmother is 83. She can't go to the store. We took her keys because I want everybody to be safe, you know. So, but recently I have locked in like a pickup location. One of my friends has allowed me to do that because what was happening, I started going all over the greater Dayton area. I'm in Inglewood, I'm meeting in Cincinnati, Trotwood, all over. And so I said, okay, I have to find a way to scale this. So that's where the pickup location has come into place.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, and are the meals they're delivered fresh or not frozen? Do you do any frozen?
So I do offer frozen meals only if someone says, hey, I would like to order the meals for 2 weeks. Then I package it differently so that it can last for those 2 weeks. Most people that are local, they're like, hey, I know you're going to do it again next week. Like, I'm going to just order 7 days, you know, and then we'll resume next week. So that's kind of how it is. So if someone wants it frozen, I do have to package it differently just so that it will keep its freshness, so that it'll keep its integrity, obviously, and so that it'll be just as delicious for them when they first received it.
That's awesome. Now, how large is your team?
So right now I have about 4 PRN employees. Obviously for like a one-on-one cooking class, I don't need them, but for like my larger weddings, any large catering that I have to do that is going to take manpower other than my 2 hands, then I bring them in with me to assist.
That's great. Are you in search of a location, permanent location?
Yes, ma'am, I am, because the vision for my business is, of course, to offer the products, but I want you to be able to come in and grab what you need. So I want you to go into the refrigerator and say, hey, what are the new meals for today? What are the preps for today? To go and grab your nut milks, your nut butters, your granola, your snack packs, your food for your kids, your baby food, whatever you need. I want you to be able to walk into this facility and I want you to be able to grab it, you know, as you need versus having to wait. And I think that's a lot of times why we don't do certain things, because we're like, oh, if I can't get it today, if I can't run and do it now when I want it, I don't want to do it, you know. So yes, ma'am, that is my ultimate goal, is to own a storefront.
And so that would include not only offering your meals, but also vegan products.
Yes, ma'am, it will be all complete vegan products, even produce as well.
Okay, thank you so much. I enjoyed your presentation. Continued success.
Thank you.
All right, I might throw one out to Sierra really quick. Sierra, I'd love to just know a little bit about your monthly sales. I know Pamela asked you a little bit and was hinting at that, but I wonder if you could just give us a little insight into your monthly sales, like how many cookies are you selling? What's the value of some of that? And help us kind of get a picture for your finances.
So monthly with my online sales, and I also have a pickup location at the Entrepreneur Shop, 1109 West 3rd Street. So monthly with those combined, I would probably say like around 2,500 monthly.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question for Andrew. Andrew, you show pretty extensive data in terms of consumer behavior for your market analysis. As we begin to shift out of COVID-19, well, right now, kind of in COVID-19, right, having a food venture that's not bounded to a physical location is beneficial. But how do you imagine that your business will be impacted post COVID-19 once people are beginning to frequent brick and mortar restaurants again?
Okay, had to unmute myself. Yeah, so the plan post COVID is huge. It's going to get better. I know people will be going to restaurants and things, but once more and more education gets out there of the types of food that people really are eating when they're going to a restaurant, even if it is a nice restaurant, the sodium content, everything. Seems like there's a few other people that are in this group that already understand that. So really getting it out there, what type of good, healthy food this is and how much better overall your life is going to be when you're eating things like this all the time. It's not just every once in a while. It's all the time. Everything changes. And then from there, it's going to be bigger, as in, you know, I'm going to have a large distribution center just to send the meals out to whatever other centers they're going to. And then that is going to have a hydroponic farm, and not small. I'm envisioning acres where I'm going to be growing all of my own food. So everything is going to be super fresh, farm to table. And then from there, I want to be able to offer that good, you know, the extra from that out to close restaurants and things like that. And then from there, I want to have like a little farmer's market out in front of the shop. So that distribution, however it can go, it'll be like a GFS style with the refrigerated trucks traveling around, dropping the meals off to the locations, and then going from there. So huge plans, COVID or not, this is going to work.
Excellent. Thank you, judges and participants. Judges, if you could head to our breakout room for deliberations, and attendees can, or companies can stay in for a little bit as well. And I will throw it back to you, Amelia.
Okay, thanks. So as we all know, $2,500 is up for grab. So is some in-kind marketing services from the O'Neill Center, including $750 for the top winner. Runner-up gets $500, and other finalists gets $200 in in-kind services. Now we're going to show you a very special video from Lore. Lore was founded by Bridget Flaherty, who believes in authentic stories. An authentic story knocks down walls, she writes on her website. It helps people in organizations see each other as humans and can build confidence in customers. Stories even have the power to unite people from vastly different backgrounds and perspectives. This year, we invited a few local founders to participate in a Lore workshop, then recorded their stories to share at Startup Week. The first up tonight, we'll hear from Kate Edmondson, founder of Tend and Flourish, a collective of women artists and healers located on Brown Street.
Hi, I'm Kate Edmondson, and I'm the owner of Tend and Flourish. My story starts in August of 2017, and I'm sitting at the desk of my first business, The Skin Studio. I'm a licensed esthetician of 15 years. I've just sent my one and only child off to college, and I'm thinking this is the point that I feel like I should have made it, but yet I feel like something is missing. So while I'm sitting there waiting for my next client, I open up my laptop to Facebook, and right at the top, in complete synchronicity, is an advertisement for Accelerate Dayton for a pitch competition to win the money and the help to expand your current business. So I applied. I did the competition and I won. I sat in front of a board of stoic men who probably had no idea what an esthetician was, and I presented to them my idea of a women's wellness center where women of all backgrounds could come to nourish their mind, body, and soul. And you know what? I won. And I didn't have a full idea yet. I just had the beginnings, the fringe work of an idea. So I go out into my community, I start attending networking events and fundraisers, and I'm connecting with people all over the city of Dayton that are hearing my idea, and they're saying, you know what? I'm looking for a place like that. Or I have a business, and I'm looking for a community to join. If you build it, we will come. I'm thinking, great. I'm speaking, I'm meeting, the people are coming, I'm getting the help from the city. But what am I doing with it? Where am I going? Where is my place? And my next stop was a fundraiser for a nonprofit arts organization called the Mosaic Institute. And I attend this fundraiser and I meet the owner, Jess McMillan. And as I sit there telling the story, what I hope to do, that sounds amazing. It sounds incredible. She's captivated. I'm captivated by her. And she says, there's just one thing that's missing. And I think, what's that? Nobody's told me that so far. And she said, the arts as a whole. We need art to nourish our soul. It sparks the mind in a different way. How can you work on mind, body, and soul and you not feed the creative spark? And that was it. That was the light bulb moment, the aha that I needed. And we came together and we found our building, and the women came and the organizations came, and we had Tend and Flourish. And now here we are, it's 2 years later. Jess and I work side by side at our shop on Brown Street with healers, artists, wellness professionals, licensed counselors, and we all conduct our business side by side in a large building in complete harmony. And women and men of all backgrounds come to feed their soul and their body and their mind with what helps them to make them feel whole. And if you want to find out more about what we do at our shop on Brown Street, you can go to www.tendandflourishdayton.com and learn more there. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Christina Mendez, and here today I'm talking about Avery Tie & Co., which is my latest venture. It is a men's accessory line to break the stigma of Black and brown men's criminalization and to further push out the narrative that Black men are professionals. They are leaders in their community. So Avery Tie & Co. Is going to be premium menswear tie lines, and they're all locally sourced. So all my vendors are in the United States, across the United States. Black lives, we have been marginalized for so long, and I think that this is like really the perfect time to amplify our voices and to really show the beauty that lies within us, the resilience that lies within us, and that I have just a special place in my heart for people that get caught in the system, because you don't always get caught because you decide that you want to make a bad decision. There's usually a culmination of experiences that kind of push you to a certain lifestyle, but those decisions don't define you. That's not the end of your story.
Hi, my name is Darren Bell, the creative founder of My Music Ed. My Music Ed is an app that was designed to help teachers, educators, volunteers, parents with social emotional learning, music learning, relationship building, all integrated together and having fun utilizing music technology at the same time. You don't have to be a musician or a music teacher to be able to use it. When you go to the drum page, you can click on a virtual drum set, just click on the cymbals and the sounds, it'll tell you the names of them, it'll play the sounds for you. At the top of each page of the instrumentations or the different activities are also social emotional learning activities and also relationship building activities. It's not about teaching them music, is talking about how to build relationships, how to express feelings on the inside. And even with the state of affairs and community now, with just different levels of things, whether it's traumatic things happening in the community or whether there's great things. And that's the one thing I love about restorative practices and working with music and social emotional learning, is the fact is we take a non-punitive approach and a positive approach on just dealing with feelings and things of that nature. And when you sprinkle a little instrument in it, it just makes it more fun. I love what I do because someone did it for me. When I was a teenager, there was a music conductor by the name of Isaiah Jackson. At the time was the music director for the Dayton Philharmonic Orchestra. It was the mentoring, it was the restorative conversations that I had with Mr. Jackson. It was being exposed just to some things that I had never been exposed to before. So really what I'm doing is paying it forward and reaching back and just allowing a platform of these students today to connect through music.
I'm Ethan Smith from Smith Fly Designs in Troy, Ohio. We make outdoors products or products for people who love to be outside, and our main product right now is the Big Shoals Raft, and we're also pretty well known for the Shoal Tent. That's a floating tent. Even when I was a kid, I was, drawing doodles of inventions and things like that, and all through college I had ideas similar to these for outdoorsy products because I was always in the outdoors and I had better ways to do things. We've got boats all around the country and all around the world. We've sent tons to Montana and Texas and as far away as South America and Patagonia and Ireland. We've got some of the best guides in the world working out of our rafts and helping us refine them and improve them and really make them the best product that we can at really the best value too. So we think the labor pool and the level of execution that we have in the Miami Valley here as far as machining and some of the metalworking stuff, we think is as good as anywhere in the world. We're just looking for that investment partner that sort of sees the world in the same way that we do, and that can help provide the growth capital that we need to kind of take it to the next level. And this is still 100% owned by me, and I've basically maxed out my ability to finance it myself as far as growth goes, because if you double year over year, it gets pretty interesting pretty quickly. The days that people spend in our rafts are some of their favorite days of the year. Being a part of that and playing a small role in people's sort of happy place, I think, is really what gets me up in the morning.
I'm Will Foster. I'm a local personal trainer in the area, and I started Picnic with Ben Kalis here, my head chef.
My name is Ben Kalis. I am the head chef of Picnic. I have about 11 years of professional culinary experience. One thing that makes Picnic a little bit unique as opposed to other companies is we don't do meal kits. We do prepare your order meals that are ready to eat. There's no cooking involved on your part, but we're also not a frozen meal prep service. All of our stuff is local, fresh, and easy. As we expand, we'd like to start using local farmers as well and producers, making our entire experience a local meal.
Each week we send out a menu and then we prepare the meals, package them in biodegradable containers.
We have a very eclectic menu, a very wide range of options.
We don't have any official certifications yet, but we do offer a lot of vegan options and vegetarian options as well. So whether you eat meat or don't eat meat, there's plenty on the menu for you. We would really love to connect with potential investors in the business. We're ready to expand. We have not actually gone public yet, but we're serving about 30 different people each week. We grow a little bit more each week. We're really ready to take this to the next level, and we would love our own space. Dayton has a rich history of innovation and entrepreneurship, and we really would love to be a part of the growth that's happening right now in downtown Dayton and the surrounding areas.
My name is Yetunde Rodriguez. I am a textile artist, designer, maker, artisan. I hand print fabric through the method of block printing, and I turn the material into homewares such as curtains, pillows, even wall art, different things like that. It really shows your hand in the final product. My background is in graphic design. While I was in school, I studied printmaking. I was interested in seeing homewares using like African motifs because at the time, like 10 years or so ago, it wasn't very popular. So I love that with a few basic lines, strokes, color combinations, you can make something really beautiful. Etsy was getting big, and the whole handmade movement was really getting big, so it all just kind of came together. I'm originally from Nigeria, so I'm heavily influenced by Yoruba culture, and sometimes I think it's all part of a homesickness at the same time, a way to connect. African culture and African design is so beautiful, in part because it's very whimsical and improvisational. Also, I love wild color combinations because growing up in my culture, I don't know if you've ever seen Nigerian women dress, lots of color, you know, just bright, vibrant, beautiful. It just makes me happy.
My name is Courtney Terry, and my business is Tasty Love Baby Food, and it's a baby food prep business here in Dayton, Ohio. I had just had my now 2-year-old, and I was making baby food for him anyway. The age range is 0 to 2 years, and my number one is apple mango. People love apples and mango. Applesauce, of course. I try to mix and match flavors, especially when it comes to vegetables. So for example, today I'll be making green beans and avocado. When you're at home and you're a mom and you're making baby food, you use ice cube trays to make your baby food. You pop them in the ice cube tray, you put them in the freezer, and they last, depending on how much you make, for up to a couple months. Well, you can't buy frozen food in the grocery stores here, at least not in Ohio. You can get some off of Amazon, but you can't just go to the grocery store and buy baby food cubes in the grocery store. So that is something that I would like to see happen. But it's something that I really think is important for moms to have access. It's another way of getting food that's shelf sustainable without all of the added preservatives. I'm passionate about health and food and starting babies off on that healthy foot. First thing is the most important. They say the first 30 years of your life are most important, and then what you do in the first 30 years catches up in the last 30 years. Well, I want to be that person that helps local parents start off on the right foot.
All right, so the judges have deliberated, and we do have some winners to announce. So a drum roll. I don't know if there's a drum roll here, but probably not. For the Main Street portion. Oh, that was a drum roll. Look at that. The Main Street portion of the competition, and there were some really great presentations that we heard during that category. We have the runner-up. And the runner-up first, and he will receive $500 in in-kind services from the O'Neill Center. And the winner is Aaron Brown from Safe Sports Mask, a company that provides sports masks and face coverings for athletes and people into fitness. So let's give Aaron Brown and Safe Sports Mask a round of applause. Yay! Ding! Exactly. The winner, though, will take home that $2,500 in cold hard American money and $750 in in-kind marketing services from the O'Neill Center. And the winner is Cousins Meals, founded by Andrew Choi. So let's give Andrew and Cousins Meals a really big round of applause for their presentation and how flavorful that whole thing seemed. I'm really hungry now, so thanks a lot. Woo, woo. All right, so we're going to move on to the innovation-based category right now. And like in the first round, the top winner gets $2,500 in cash and $750 in in-kind services from the O'Neill Center at Wright State University. Partner sponsor Converge Technologies will contribute $1,000 in in-kind engineering services to the winner as well. So that's like a whopping, I don't know, I'm a print journalist, so I don't know how to do math. It's like $1 million basically. So you'll basically win $1 million. We have our judges, of course, Lauren Tiffin from the Entrepreneur Center, Carlos Marshall from Greater West Dayton Incubators, Belinda Matthew Stetson from the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce, Pam Cohn from Aviata, and Erica Waite from Vesta Ventures. And they're going to go ahead and stay on and judge this round as well. Our first business up in the innovation-based business is Illume. Illume is a device that allows endurance athletes to send SOS messages to predetermined emergency contacts while training. They are represented by the founder, Jack Rando. So take it away, Jack.
Hi, thank you very much. Share my screen here. All right, as she said, my name's Jack Randall. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Illume. I'd like to start with a brief overview of the problem that we're trying to solve. In today's world, endurance athletes, think of runners, cyclists, hikers, climbers, often venture far from home with no form of communication. Our research shows that 95% of endurance athletes train alone at least part of the time, and of those athletes, only 33% of them train with a phone or LTE-enabled smartwatch, leaving 67% vulnerable in emergency situations. Annually, within the US alone, 67,000 pedestrians, which includes runners, joggers, and walkers, and an additional 45,000 cyclists are admitted to the hospital in the US due to injuries incurred while training. There are solutions on the market to this problem, but they offer a number of setbacks. Current solutions are bulky, expensive, and do not offer a simple yet effective way to maintain communication while training. Some of them are quite obvious. Take, for example, the mobile phone. It has great functionality, but it's very bulky, and oftentimes athletes don't like to run or cycle with their phones. You have an LTE-enabled smartwatch, which has good functionality, but has a very high price point up front, and the recurring service fees can be astronomical. The GeoBit is in a different category all to its own. It's used mostly for tracking of children and offers no option for the wearer to alert an emergency contact. You have satellite messengers, which are very bulky and extremely expensive on the satellite network. And finally, within the endurance space, you have the Road ID, which allows the athlete to display their emergency contacts information, but offers no connectivity. Meet Illume, a portable SOS device for endurance athletes. Some key features of Illume are that it provides security and confidence within a small, unobtrusive, and affordable design. It allows the user to alert a predefined emergency contact of their current GPS location. In addition to this, it also allows emergency contacts to track an athlete for the duration of their training. Say, for example, your significant other is out for a run or bike ride and don't show up at home at the hour that they had said. This will allow you to access their location through the app. Finally, it incorporates fall detection. In the event of a fall during their athletic activity, the device will sense that fall and can automatically send an SOS signal to any of the predefined emergency contacts without need for user interaction. So, a brief overview of how Illume works. Aside from fall detection, there are two buttons on the top of the device. When these buttons are pressed and held simultaneously, it initiates an SOS sequence. At that time, the wearer's GPS location is transmitted via the LTE-M network to a predefined list of emergency contacts. That's important. There can be numerous emergency contacts for one individual athlete. When a particular emergency contact responds to the SOS alert, the device will blink different colored LEDs to let the wearer know that help is on the way. The market for a device like this is huge. In the US alone, there are 55.9 million distance runners and joggers, and an additional 47.5 million cyclists. Extrapolate that market to hikers, climbers, and skiers, and you end up with an additional almost 65 million users. The revenue stream for this product is fairly simple. Manufacturing-wise, we can create or produce the product for $35, and we are charged $7 annually for the LTE-M service. To the customers, we sell the device at a price point of $65 and charge $25 annually for the service. Here's a brief overview of our team. I'm Jack Randall, co-founder and CEO. My other co-founder, Philip Horn, is the CTO and in charge of all the technology. Bryce McGuire is our chief designer. My wife, Anna Randall, is in charge of marketing and brand strategy, and Sean Kane is our software engineering consultant. Our ask is for business development mentorship, help with prototype development, and access to potential funding in the future. Thank you for your time.
Jack.
Thanks a lot, Jack. That's a really innovative product. This next pitch comes from a company that got me really, really excited because I am, in fact, a Star Trek nerd. Nebula HQ is an accounting engineer to drive client relationships and provide one cohesive platform for day-to-day client interactions. They are represented by founder Brian Hunter.
Hello. Let me share my screen here. Good evening. I'm Brian Hunter, and this is Paul Schwab. We are the co-founders of Nebula HQ, and we will change the way accountants interact with their clients. Imagine you own the hottest new restaurant in town, Orville's Kitchen. You spend time finding the best accountant to handle your business's tax returns. You utilize a payroll service provider to pay your new employees. You've subscribed to QuickBooks Online to handle your bookkeeping. You utilize ZipRecruiter for online job postings and hiring. You've installed a state-of-the-art NCR point-of-sale system that your employees use to clock in and out with, among a variety of other functions. But whoa, what did you just do? You have at least 5 different systems to manage, in addition to the other challenges that come with running a restaurant. How are you going to manage all of this? We have the solution for you. Your tech-savvy accountant is going to utilize Nebula HQ. Nebula HQ is the accountant's engine to drive client relationships and provide one cohesive, customizable platform for single sign-on, API integrations, client communication, secure document vaults, ticket tracking, and more. For example, as you securely log into Nebula HQ, you'll land on your client dashboard. From here, you'll be able to click on the NCR point of sale icon, which will open NCR in a separate tab and sign you on via that one click. Once you've completed your review of your employees' time cards, you can click the Nebula HQ tab to navigate back. Next, you would be able to click on your payroll service providers icon to open a new tab and be single signed on there to import and process your hours via the Nebula HQ data sync capability. In addition to you as the client being able to log into your dashboard, your accounting firm would also be able to log into their dashboard. Your accounting firm is able to utilize Nebula HQ as a CRM and manage multiple functions, including viewing their complete client list and working on multiple clients through one sign-on. You know, as we look at our competitors, we've realized that most of them are selfish. They want you utilizing primarily their product and integrating with only the partners that they approve of. These decisions don't always put the client's needs first. Nebula HQ is considerate of your individual business and the software as a service products that you utilize. The independence that Nebula HQ provides is true freedom to run your business the way that you see fit. So we'll monetize Nebula HQ by selling directly to small US accounting firms. Our subscription-based pricing model is one that has a scalable subscription fee so that the smallest firm only pays $1,200 a year and it scales up to $48,000 a year. The trend in the accounting industry is towards a younger generation that is increasingly tech savvy and has a desire to keep up with the technological demands of their clients. In addition to being the co-founder of Nebula HQ, I own a local accounting firm. I've been in the accounting industry for the last 10 years. Just last week, I had 3 clients who expressed the need to simplify a number of disjointed software as a service products. My partner, Paul Schwab, has 15 years of software engineering experience and is very comfortable with financial data integration. Together, we are the perfect combination to bring the Nebula HQ platform to the accounting industry. Thank you, and we are Nebula HQ.
Thanks, Brian, for that great presentation about, this is something that numbers are something I'm very confused about, so probably I can use that or get an accountant to use it. Our third pitch is delightfully understandable. They focus on replacing the school to prison pipeline with a marketing technology career path. They are represented by founder Kiyoshi Nubi.
All right. Good evening, folks. I will go ahead and share my screen. Can everybody see that? All right. Hello, my name is T. Adeola, and I'm a father. That's me with the babies. And for the next few minutes, we'll say hi to some elephants in the room. A study from Yale University proved that Black males hit racial bias in preschool. They tried to put me on Ritalin. School was a nightmare, but I came through that to graduate from college and do digital marketing for some big names, including P&G, but most of my peers did not, which birthed STEM Whisperers, which is a MarTech-focused college and career readiness STEM program designed to end the school to prison pipeline. I know that's a lot. Let me unpack it. The school to prison pipeline is a set of practices and policies that push at-risk kids in failing schools out of the class and directly into prison. This is big business. The state of Ohio spends over $200,000 per kid, but it's a bigger problem for society. Ex-cons have sky-high unemployment and recidivism. So in most cases, the pipeline removes these kids from the economy permanently, which ain't smart because MarTech is in demand. Now, marketing technology, or MarTech, is tech where the business model is marketing based. So Facebook ads, Google ads, the recommendations on Amazon, all MarTech. I have an example of a Facebook ad here. And companies can't find pros fast enough. Keyword being professional. So not IG famous, but an actual career. We kill both birds with the same stone. Get them out of the school to prison pipeline and into MarTech. The other pachyderm in the room, Plague has created a gap by accelerating distance learning, but also exacerbating existing inequities. And this gap is more pronounced in math. But our Smart Pop-Up Depot is designed to close this gap quickly, because the group dynamic doesn't break all the way down online, but it hit different and something is missing. And group instruction is essential in math, but our Smart Pop-Up Depot technology puts back what's missing. So the top 50 US school districts have a combined student population of about 7.2 million. Assuming about 15% need intervention, that's an addressable audience of just over 1 million. At a 1% conversion rate, because most decision makers have never heard of MarTech, we're still enrolled not quite 11,000 kids across 90 or so schools. At an average price of $50,000 per school, that's income of 4.5 mil. But college grads are a net positive to society as they contribute more in taxes than they receive in benefits and are 5 times less likely to go to jail. So when we talk about ending the pipeline, one of the best things you can do is college. And we are targeting failing schools with high dropout and incarceration rates, more than 90 of those. Our current status is that we have incorporated and are refining our curriculum, hired a coach to show us the business, and are planning branding events called Money Melodies Pitch to the Beat. Our team consists of myself, pro marketing technologist with over a decade of experience, Marie Vera, who has a master's of global health and brings a holistic view to solving social ills, and Dr. Amy Magnus, who is our executive director of STEM curriculum. Our ask is that by making us a winner, you bring us closer to having those youth workshops. And we also need community partners we can do workshops for, as well as referrals to principals, judges, and juvenile detention center directors. And last but not least, corporate partners to hire our grads. So please visit us at stemwhisperers.com and follow us on social channels at STEM Whisperers and help be a part of the solution, where at STEM Whisperers, we sprout scholars from statistics to significance. I got like 5 seconds. Yeah, Smart Pop-Up Depot. Do it for the kids, y'all. Yeah.
Do it for the kids. There you go. That was a good walk off. I'm sure our judges are going to have some great questions for you, T. Up next is Smart Slumber. Smart Slumber is revolutionizing sleep by allowing users to fall asleep quicker, stay asleep longer, and achieve a higher quality of sleep. They are represented by someone who will not put us to sleep, Duke Tobin.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Perfect. Let me go ahead and share here.
Hey, T, can you turn your video off? You're good, Duke.
Great. So hello, everyone. My name is Duke Tobin, and I'm excited to share with you today my company, Smart Slumber. So last summer, our team was able to go to the local Dayton Makers Festival, and we gathered some data from the people who stopped by our booth. They said that the average respondent got 6.7 hours of sleep per night, rated the quality of sleep on an average night at 6.1 out of 10, and 4 out of 7 nights of the week, they said they received quality rest. Obviously, these numbers could be improved quite a bit, but looking nationally, 68% of Americans experience at least one night a week where they've experienced some sort of issue with their sleep. This could be caused from noise disruptions, temperature issues, low quality pillow materials, stress or anxiety, or a number of other issues. Here at Smart Slumber, we're here to fix that. I'd like to introduce to you Smart Slumber. We want to be able to help you fall asleep quicker, stay asleep longer, and achieve a higher quality of sleep than ever before. With Smart Slumber, good sleep is no longer just a dream. Our pillow creates the ideal environment for you to fall and stay asleep by keeping your head, neck, and spine angle the same throughout the entire night. Our pillow automatically adjusts as you move and shift throughout the night to keep the same great angle so you don't wake up. We're also working to track each user's unique sleep experience so that data can be reported back to the user and so that the pillow can also learn your sleep habits and how to most effectively serve you and get you the best sleep. We're looking at 2 different target markets to target, and those are chronic bad sleepers and health tech lovers. With chronic bad sleepers, these are individuals with extreme insomnia who have not been able to find any sort of cure to get a good quality night's sleep. By purchasing a $200 to $300 pillow, that may be a more economical option to try before spending thousands of dollars with a sleep doctor or a sleep therapist. For health tech lovers, these individuals love tracking data about their daily lives and their health experiences. So by being able to give them detailed data about their sleep and how they could get better sleep to be a healthier individual, we believe this greatly appeals to this market. Looking at a breakdown of our pillow, you can see that there's 2 separate units. The pillow itself, which is connected to a base console. So the pillow is obviously what you rest your head on, and no electronics are housed in the pillow. All the electronics are housed in the console, which sits underneath the bed to keep all of those away from the head. Breaking down the different industries that we feel we'd be involved in, the global pillow market is enormous at a $15.6 billion industry. Our serviceable obtainable market of the global smart pillow industry in North America is just a fraction of that, obviously at $15.6 million, but obviously still a huge underserved market that we could tap into. We feel that we would be able to be priced competitively with other high-end pillows around $200 to $300, which people are currently buying, but offer significantly more value and more bang for your buck. So overall, why Smart Slumber? One fact is that healthy sleep is a critical function of life, and it regulates your emotional, physical, and mental well-being more than most people expect. Without a great night's sleep, obviously, you cannot be functioning at 100% in any of these areas. And going hand in hand with this is also improving your overall sleep experience. You now have the choice and the opportunity to improve your sleeping habits long-term and short-term. So thank you all for being here today. Please feel free to contact me at smartslumbertech@gmail.com if you have any further questions or would like to be involved in this process in any way. So thank you again.
Well, you know what? I really need that because I need to fall asleep better, and that looks comfy. Our final pitch this evening is from AIM. AIM is striving to bring simple yet effective antimicrobiological solutions to masses through advanced material science. I knew I was going to step on that word, but they'll explain all about it. We have Louise Estevez who is going to tell us all about AIM and what they're doing. So take it away, Louise.
Certainly. So, hello, everyone. Oh, I'm getting an echo for some reason. Hello? Okay, now I'm good. Can you hear me?
You're good.
Okay, cool. Let me start again. I still get an echo. Okay, there we go. Okay. Everybody on the planet knows this image and knows what it is now that I've let it sink in for a bit. This is the coronavirus 95 respirator mask, and it is basically, according to the CDC director, our best bet against COVID and the coronavirus. What we also know is that we are woefully short on these masks. We're hundreds of million masks short of where we need to be, and this puts our healthcare workers at a tremendous disadvantage for their health and well-being. And if you think about it, what they have to do to reuse these masks is basically take a brown paper bag with their name on it, put the mask in there, wait overnight, then come back in the next day, put the mask back on, hope whatever is on it has died or doesn't touch them, Purell like crazy to stay healthy. This is not a good method. And what COVID has done is shown the problems with using this disposable mask system that we have. It's obviously environmentally unsustainable to throw it out as you leave the hospital room. But during a crisis, these masks get depleted quickly. And then all of a sudden it becomes financially unsustainable, spiking prices by 1,000%. Cleaning the mask to make it reusable can add extra cost that's unnecessary. And then, of course, there's the most important thing. It's just not safe. There's danger from cross-contamination that can endanger both healthcare worker and patient alike. A self-disinfecting N95 mask, where we take the outside layer that has these plastic fibers attaching silver nanoparticles, which have been shown to kill viruses and bacteria on contact. So this is no trivial matter, and this is the secret sauce that we bring to the table as AIM. And we estimate this will add a $2 to $4 price per mask of a $1 mask for a $20 value proposition. And so right now we're working with the University of Dayton to transfer the tech out, and also with our own lawyers to work on the IP so that we can and licensing deal for this technology. And we are also working on a proposal for the NSF that we've been invited to submit for their SBIR seed program. So this is so we're looking to get to a prototype stage, and this is where we are with AIM. So if you look at the total hospital market, but down deeper, you have 3.5 billion masks estimated to be needed this year. But that's not an important thing that we want to look at. Is this specific market of emergency supply of N95 masks. Specifically, when you look at the local Miami Valley Health System, which is 3 hospitals, the 14-day emergency supply that they had to have even before COVID was 67,000 masks. This is our target, our initial thrust, and this is important because this market is completely depleted, and what we will go in to fill, and it's a growing market due to the fact that COVID is happening. Right now, they're looking for ways to replenish this market, and this is what we're going to target. And right now, even in California, they passed some legislation that requires 3 months of PPE supplies. That's 344 hospitals that need these kind of supplies in storage, and we expect the rest of the 6,100 hospitals in the U.S. to follow suit. So this is where we're going to make our mark. Our solutions where they try to clean the mask and reuse them, like vaporized hydrogen peroxide, but then you're dealing with reusing the masks until you have to clean them, which brings us back to a brown paper bag. throwing away up to 40% of the cleanable. And then even if you are able to clean them, 10 to 20 of them you get 10 to 20 uses before they're basically unusable. And then these cost about $5 per cleaning, so it adds cost. Our mask, due to this layer on the outside that kills viruses and bacteria, ensures safety, it ensures environmental sustainability, and eventually, due to the long-term cost savings, it actually makes it economically sustainable. Where we are right now is working with University of Dayton to transfer out the technology, but also working on the patent ourselves to patent the process and use SBIR non-dilutive funding to bring the technology to a prototype.
And that is your time, Chris.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Okay.
I mean, wow, that's awesome that we have a Dayton company working on such an important global issue, and you really explained it well. Now it's time for our judges, though, to ask any questions they have of the participants tonight. We have Lauren Tiffin from the Entrepreneur Center, Carlos Marshall from the Greater West Dayton Incubator, Belinda Matthew Stetson from the Dayton Chamber of Commerce, Pam Cohn from Aviata, and we have Erica Waite from Vesta Ventures. And reminder, judges, turn your cameras and mics on if you have questions, and participants as well.
Well, hey guys, those were amazing pitches. I've got a lot of questions for all of you, so I'll share my time with my other judges and just start out with a couple questions. So first, AIM, I know you just wrapped up, so I'll start with you right out the gate. If you could clarify something for me, Luis. I was thinking about patents and IP, and then you mentioned licensing.
Sure.
So can you clarify for me, are you making masks or are you coating them?
What we're doing is coating that polymer cloth, that plastic cloth, and then putting that on top of the mask. But we're not currently making that. What we're doing is getting into a prototype now. We may make masks, but we're seeing as a potential partnering with a big player like a 3M or a Honeywell through licensing as the best route to go to get these out immediately, and really just to kind of help AIM as well.
Awesome.
I want to follow up to that, Luis. You talked about you're currently working on the tech transfer as well as licensing and the NSF proposal. I guess, my question is, how long do you imagine that process will take, considering the fact that we don't exactly know how long COVID is going to be here? So what do you really think that your window of opportunity is to really expand the market and yield profits?
That's a fantastic question. So I see, like, if we're looking to replace masks, yeah, sure, that's a flash in the pan market that we got to hit right away. But we're not looking to do that. We're looking to change how hospitals keep this emergency storage, which will be the new way of doing things post-COVID. In fact, it should be the way we would have been doing it previously. But what COVID has done is shown that the way we've done things before, throwing out masks like they're Kleenex, is not the way to go. It's not only environmentally sustainable, but when you have a crisis, whether it's localized or a pandemic like this, it really turns into just a disaster right away. So what we're targeting is this emergency supplies, which every hospital will soon, and you see California's already moving to do this. The rest of the nation, the rest of the world's going to do this. This is, I think, where we can make our major mark, and then besides that market, we can see other things like perhaps preppers, or there might be another additional market like FEMA, or anything where the military that might have to have some masks ready to go and to be deployed in specific situations. So COVID is a temporary thing, but we see what we're trying to do as not a temporary market. Thanks. Great question, though.
If I'm understanding you correct, Luis, are you suggesting that your product can be used on other things, other equipment besides masks?
Yeah. So what we're patenting right now is the process, and which is, again, no trivial task to attach these nanoparticles and make them sure that they're well attached to these fibers. So that is basically what we're patenting. And so that process can then be used to attach them to, let's say, porous carbon materials for water treatment. It can be used to make biocidal plastics. Let's say you want something for food storage that is going to keep mold from growing. I mean, these are all potential applications that we have outside of it.
Luis, this is Belinda. While you're on the camera,
Hey.
tell me about your test. You said you've been marketing this, testing this in several of the hospitals. What kind of outcomes have you had?
No, I haven't been testing this in the hospital. Sorry if that came through. What we're doing is basically lab scale where we are right now. So we're trying to get to a prototype. So we are working with the University of Dayton, Professor Crossan, who is an expert in microorganisms and harmful pathogens. She does a lot of water treatment as well, but she has the laboratory and the skill set that can do all the characterization we need to show that this in fact kills viruses, bacteria, that kind of thing. So we're working with her to get some data and then put it into the proposal so that we can get it funded.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, although we have been talking to a chief operating officer within the Miami Valley Health who's been incredibly helpful in informing us, giving us feedback on price points, on systems that they use, that kind of thing. So we are in talks with them. So that's actually been very helpful.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I have a question for Brian from Nebula.
Hi.
So thanks for your presentation. So can you tell me, does your product import data or share data between the different platforms that you're connecting, or is it just a dashboard that brings everything onto one screen?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. The main feature of it really is that data import and integration between multiple platforms. So when I kind of showed that example on there, using the NCR point of sale system, that's where employees would typically clock in and clock out. And then I showed the payroll system. What the Nebula HQ system is going to be able to do is act kind of like a hub and spoke model. And they're going to be able to take data from NCR, pull it into Nebula HQ, and then transfer that over into Paychex. So that's going to save the client a tremendous amount of time because they're not going to have to key that in. So yeah, it's going to do data transfer and then also single sign-on. So not having to remember to your password for NCR, your password for payroll, just one password, log into Nebula HQ, and then be able to go everywhere else. And in addition, just kind of expand 1 second on that, accountants, I think, are going to love it because a lot of them have to know all their clients' passwords if they don't have one single sign-on for multiple ones, and they're going to have one place to go and be able to access all of their clients. Yeah, I have 250 clients. I can know all my passwords in one place.
Thanks.
Hey Brian, question for you. So I'm shockingly very familiar with cloud accounting software, so things like Xero, where you can already bring in your account balances, you can tie your bank accounts to it. It also has an open API, but it's very secure. Like, can you talk a little bit about what makes you guys unique, or in other words, like what makes you secure enough that people would trust to be putting in all of their information? And do you bring in bank account information?
Yeah, so
Hey Brian, I'm not sure if I'm the only one with this issue, but I actually can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
much better. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have any plans to bring in the bank account information into Nebula HQ. It's more a matter of transferring like employee data, and yeah, it's like some routing and account numbers would be transferred, but not like physical bank balances. When we talk about financial security, not to kind of get too deep into it, but that's really where my partner Paul Schwab comes into play. He works for a development company today that is in the financial sector, and they are just all day long worried about security of customers' financial information. So I can't dive too deep into it, but yes, we're going to be entirely secure. We have two-factor authentication within Nebula HQ. Each one of the client's usernames and passwords, and then they log in,
are controlled on an individual client basis. So all of it's going to be kept on the individual client's account. So it is going to be secure. It's about as much as I can say about it.
We don't have the time to get too technical. So
that's Paul.
That's fair. Thank you.
Yep.
I have a question for Jack.
Yes.
Thank you, Jack. I enjoyed your presentation. I wanted to know, do you have any current users that have tried your product? I don't know if you mentioned that. I apologize if you did.
Oh, no, you're fine. So at this point, we have no official users. So at the phase we're at, we're currently at what I'd like to call a proof of concept prototype phase.
Okay.
So we have the final housing designed, and then we have a separate device which is a little bit larger that actually functions. So our next step is to incorporate the larger functioning device, which includes all of the electronics, into the smaller housing, the wearable device that will go on the shoe or the handlebars of a cyclist.
Now, I believe you mentioned that you do have evidence that people are wanting a smaller device. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so we conducted a national market survey of roughly 200 endurance athletes, where we asked them questions such as how many of you train alone at least part of the time, how many of you train with your phone, do you train in remote areas or urban areas, and overall their interest in a product such as this.
Thank you. Now, also, when you introduce it to the market, are you introducing it online for people to buy as an e-commerce item?
Correct. Yeah. So currently the plan is to do direct to consumer on our website.
Okay. Will you expand that as far as being able to offer it in stores?
Yes, potentially. However, the main setback to that is determining a wholesale price at the moment. So what we really want to do is offer a low price point to the end user. And we feel that going direct to consumer would allow us to do that so that we can get the most devices on the market and help the greatest majority of athletes.
Now, with the process of if they needed help in the event that they needed help,
sure,
and that process, can you explain that one more time? If they needed help, how would people find them? And
absolutely. Yeah, so on the device, there are two buttons. When both of those buttons are pressed and held simultaneously for 3 seconds, it will send a level 1 alert to a predefined emergency contact. So a level 1 alert is, hey, I'm in need of help, but it's not an emergency situation. Think, I rolled my ankle, something like that on a run. If they press and hold both of those buttons for 6 seconds, it will send a level 2 emergency alert, which says, I'm in need of help. It's an emergency situation. Please send the authorities. In addition to those methods, the device incorporates fall detection. So on a bike, for example, if an individual falls and becomes unconscious and aren't able to activate the device themselves, a fall detection backup will be produced, and that will send the SOS message. There is a period of time for the athlete to cancel that fall detection if they choose to do so, because what we don't want to do is be sending false SOS messages to emergency contacts and have them freaking out when no emergency is actually taking place.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your presentation. Continued success.
Thanks.
I have a question for Duke. Duke, I have two questions actually. The first is related to, could you speak more about your revenue model? How much do you believe that it will cost to build the pillow as well as the company device? And how much do you plan to sell it for? And then the second question is, you made a reference to this might be a more cost-efficient option for people that might not want to spend a lot of money on a Tempur-Pedic mattress or so, but you said that the cost point of this was $300. So I guess, are you also considering that offering this pillow that you might offer trial periods in which people might be able to return it back in a couple of weeks, in 30 days, or is it, pretty much all sell final type of model?
Yeah, so that's something we're still playing around with. Right now, this pillow, what we're looking at is more of a consumer grade pillow. We're also looking into doing kind of more of a medical grade pillow. So what that would look like is obviously like more tailored to a medical community. Probably something more like that, where if you use it in 30 days, it doesn't really have your desired effect, I guess. That'd be something where you could send it back, or it'd be used in a hospital or in a testing facility for sleep, things like that. With this one, we're not looking into that right now. But currently, most other luxury pillows, no adjustment, anything, just normal pillow, they can run $200 to $300. We think we could be on the higher end of that, around $300, with obviously a lot more benefit. And then looking into the future, expanding with other products that might connect to this to aid in that kind of sleep experience. It kind of have that connectivity to go with that, even at that kind of similar price point, around $300. Cost of materials, right now, we have kind of a proof of concept. It's our second prototype. We're looking to get one more that's a little bit more manufacturable, because all the parts we used for our first prototype were off the shelf, obviously. We believe we can get our costs down to somewhere around $100.
Hi, Duke. This is Belinda. Wanted to know, how do you compete with MyPillow? I mean, I'm up at night and I see the CEO. I think he's my best friend. What's the differentiator between your pillow, your product, and MyPillow in terms of cost and benefits and the structure of your product?
Definitely. So our pillow obviously is a little bit more expensive than a MyPillow, but also comes with much more of a benefit and much more customization. So being able to adjust the pillow, have it adjust for you throughout the night, that's not something MyPillow does. MyPillow doesn't track any data. It doesn't do anything like that, which MyPillow to us is more just kind of in that like normal, quote unquote, normal pillow sphere, where it does have kind of some different features than obviously an average pillow, but the customization is not there. So the customization and the ability to kind of maintain that same pressure, that same angle throughout the night is something that no other.
Okay, thank you.
Duke, this is Pamela from Aviatra. Can you tell me, as far as the device, is that electronic? Is it battery operated?
Yeah, can you hear me okay? Sorry, my
Yes.
headphones just died. Okay. So our device currently is electronic, so you plug it into a wall. We thought about going with batteries, but a lot of people don't want batteries near their head or really anywhere kind of near their bed at all. So we found that electronics a little bit better way to go. And then by also storing all of that under the bed, also adds to that safety. But we're not looking to go battery anytime soon.
Thank you so much. I also have a question for Delightfully Understandable.
Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I wanted to know, with your curriculum, have you done any case studies or any small trials?
So our curriculum is still in development, and we are on pace to have the curriculum done by January 2021. We have been in talks with some community partners. Donna McCoy from, she works for Dayton Children's, but she's placed at Kaiser Elementary, and we're talking about providing some programming for their 4th through 6th graders once the curriculum is developed. But we are still in the development phase, and we should be ready to go by January.
As far as your curriculum, do you have any research where any of the components have been successful with other students?
Absolutely. So the Smart Pop-Up Depot is built off of research or technology from the Air Force. Our curriculum designer, Dr. Amy Magnus, her specialty is in human-computer teaming, and she's taught at AFIT, the Air Force Institute of Technology, and she specializes in math. So with the smaller kids specifically, it's kind of her sweet spot, 0 to 12 years. And I'm bringing the subject matter expertise on top of being MarTech specific. So I published a book back in 2016, which is the base of the curriculum. A lot of case studies on that. And so between those two things, the foundation is very solid, absolutely.
Thank you for that. When you are planning to introduce this to market, do you have a point of entry?
We do. So our customer is a principal of a failing school. And we have two contacts. The first is Dr. Robert Somers, who's the CEO of CFED Solutions. He's actually out of Middletown, Ohio. Brian Hunter actually connected me with him, so shout out to my fellow presenter. And he's a former Secretary of Education for both Ohio and Oklahoma. And CFED Solutions, they operate in 6 states, I believe. Don't ask me which 6 states, but it's like Ohio, Michigan, and there's 6 of them. So that's him. So that's Dr. Robert Somers. He said once we have the curriculum developed and a price point, he's happy to introduce us to his client base. We also have connections with Mr. Lawrence Love out of Atlanta, Georgia, who is a professional biz dev in the education space. And he has connections with the larger school districts like your Chicago Unified, your San Diego. He's actually retired, but I want to say he was in that space for like 25 years. So we have both of those people lined up and ready to go, as well as, like I said, Dr. Amy Magnus. She was with the Air Force for like 20 some years. And so they don't have but once we have the data from that smart pop-up depot technology that we're built on top of, that builds into their workforce development as well, because the Air Force, all the armed forces, but the Air Force specifically, has a very large civilian workforce, and they have the same workforce development needs as every other sector. So yeah.
Absolutely. One last question. When you're talking about failed schools and principals, will this be, as far as funding, will that come from that school? Will that come from that school district?
Yeah, so yes, that's the answer to the question. So the principals are the primary decision makers, and they are the ones who are going to decide to bring us in. And so it's primarily going to be a principal who's looking to turn his school around.
Okay. Thank you so much. Continued success.
Thank you. Good. Does everyone
ahead,
feel like they've got questions out? Is there any pressing last question? Excellent. Excellent. So if you want to meet me back in the other breakout room, and we will have deliberation there. So I will see you in just a second.
All right. So the judges are going to deliberate right now, as you just heard, on who wins this prize package worth $4,250. I did some math, and that's how much it's worth when you add everything up together. While we wait, though, we're going to share another video from a storyteller from Lore with you. You may recognize Charles Nick, founder of Third Wave Water, from his appearance on the popular television show Shark Tank, but you may not know the original inspiration for his entrepreneurial journey. Let's listen.
I remember hearing my father share stories about my grandfather, or as we knew him, he was our papo. Man of few words, but surprising determination. One story stuck out to me the most, and it was when my grandfather was in his 40s, he decided to take a risk and start a business. He worked in a harsh environment of the steel mills in the early 1900s for almost 20 years, and decided he didn't want to keep doing it anymore. So he opened a small grocery store in Middletown, Ohio. He started a business much later in life, in a time when most people are probably thinking about retirement. It makes me sad that the only way I could meet my grandfather was through the silence of old photos and 16mm film to see his quiet smile, but he left me with tenacity I would never forget. I always had a great deal of respect for his endurance and strength to do what he did in his mid-40s. He may have passed away before I was born, but he was very alive to me. Many years later, I'm working as a researcher for a major university, and I stumbled into an opportunity. I was working in cafes every day, smelling the freshly roasted coffee drip into my cup, when I accidentally discovered how amazing coffee was. I liked coffee before, but I didn't really love it until then. Then I had a crazy idea that I would help others discover great coffee too. I quickly built a small business selling coffee subscriptions to tour Ohio's amazing coffee roasters. You would receive a box of 4 samples of freshly roasted coffee delivered to your front door every month from different cities in Ohio. Pretty soon, though, I discovered the market was more saturated than I originally thought. My idea wasn't original, as there were many types of coffee subscriptions, all promising to deliver you great coffee. And my customers were not having the experience I was having, and it was driving me crazy. One time we mailed out a coffee that was over $100 a pound. It had some of the best flavors I'd ever tasted. It was also one of the best coffees in the world, and no one was saying anything. I thought we had good customer development program to learn about their pains, but they weren't letting us know about their gains either. It was a turning point for the Right Cup, since the business model was not easily scalable with this huge issue. A few months later, I found myself in Tie 9 in Dayton, Ohio for lunch with a friend. I was sitting across from Taylor eating sushi with one eye on the wooden sushi boat sitting a table away. Taylor sat there in his black Duluth shirt and his reserved demeanor looking for the waiter. We were almost deafened from the gathering lunch crowd's laughter when I explained to him about my issue. I was like, we're shipping amazing coffee to our customers, but they're not having the same experience I'm having at home. What do you do for your coffee customers? He said, I just updated finishing a water system for my cafe, and sometimes I give my customers coffee or water to take home for their to brew their coffee, since their water is so bad in that area. I replied, do you think there's some way that we could like condense your water to ship to my customers and then maybe mix with distilled? He joked back, we could dehydrate the water. And we both laughed at my frustration. But then he paused and said, well, actually, I could mix the minerals that should be in the water in the first place. I asked him if anyone else was doing this, and he didn't think so. A week later, I tried my first iteration. Purchased a gallon of distilled water, mixed it with a very sketchy looking plastic vial of minerals, brewed the first cup of coffee. Wow, this tasted amazing, but is it better than the water I already love using? So I filtered my water, brewed another cup of the same coffee. It worked. The mineral brewed coffee was so much better. The flavors are so much brighter and vibrant, and it was easy to mix. That was it. We ran full steam ahead, built the company in 30 days to launch in a specialty coffee trade show in October 2016, selling boxes with minerals to be added to distilled water to help you have the right water to brew coffee. The trade show validated that our assumptions were correct as the right people took notice. 2 months later, we funded a Kickstarter in 11 hours, doubling our original goal and quickly garnering the attention of national news. Every other day was a new news article, but nothing could have prepared us for what happened next. Taylor got an email that he almost deleted, but he decided to reply instead. It was from the producers of Shark Tank. Once he replied and we received their interest, we were both nervous to ruin the opportunity and hopped on the first call, which then turned into a second call and more. Within 8 months of launching Third Wave Water, we found ourselves standing behind 2 large transparent doors in ABC Studios, waiting for a cue to walk forward. The doors opened. We walked confidently down the hall until we stared face to face with 5 investors, but we couldn't say anything until the cameras were done focusing. Our only option was to stare back in the faces of the sharks who were waiting for us to begin the presentation. How in the world did we get here? That I had the tenacity to start a business later in life and see it through instead of remaining in the comfortable, familiar vocation. Today, the Right Cup is shifted to helping offices have the best local coffee, and Third Wave Water is fulfilling the mission to be the go-to water company in the specialty coffee industry. If you want the best coffee for your office, please visit therightcup.com, spelled with a W. And if you want to drink coffee like it was meant to be tasted, then visit thirdwavewater.com for more information. Thank you.
My name is Courtney Terry, and my business is Tasty Love Baby Food, and it's a baby food prep business here in Dayton, Ohio. I had just had my now 2-year-old, and I was making baby food for him anyway. The age range is 0 to 2 years, and my number 1 is apple mango. People love apples and mango. Applesauce, of course. I try to mix and match flavors, especially when it comes to vegetables. So for example, today I'll be making green beans and avocado. When you're at home and you're a mom and you're making baby food, you use ice cube trays to make your baby food. You pop them in the ice cube tray, put them in the freezer, and they last, depending on how much you make, for up to a couple months. well, you can't buy frozen food in the grocery stores here, at least not in Ohio. You can get some off of Amazon, but you can't just go to the grocery store and buy baby food cubes in the grocery store. So that is something that I would like to see happen. It's something that I really think is important for moms to have access. It's another way of getting food that's shelf sustainable without all of the added preservatives. I'm passionate about health and food and starting babies off on that healthy foot. First thing is the most important. They say the first 30 years of your life are most important, and then what you do in the first 30 years catches up in the last 30 years. Well, I want to be that person that helps local parents start off on the right foot.
I remember hearing my father share stories about my grandfather, or as we knew him, he was our papo. Man of few words, but surprising determination. One story stuck out to me the most, and it was when my grandfather was in his 40s, he decided to take a risk and start a business. He worked in a harsh environment of the steel mills in the early 1900s for almost 20 years and decided he didn't want to keep doing it anymore. So he opened a small grocery store in Middletown, Ohio. He started a business much later in life, in a time when most people are probably thinking about retirement. It makes me sad that the only way I could meet my grandfather was through the silence of old photos and 16mm film to see his quiet smile, but he left me with tenacity I would never forget. I always had a great deal of respect for his endurance and strength to do what he did in his mid-40s. He may have passed away before I was born, but he was very alive to me. Many years later, I'm working as a researcher for a major university, and I stumbled into an opportunity. I was working in cafes every day, smelling the freshly roasted coffee drip into my cup, when I accidentally discovered how amazing coffee was. I liked coffee before, but I didn't really love it until then. Then I had a crazy idea that I would help others discover great coffee too. I quickly built a small business selling coffee subscriptions to tour Ohio's amazing coffee roasters. You would receive a box of 4 samples of freshly roasted coffee delivered to your front door every month from different cities in Ohio. Pretty soon, though, I discovered the market was more saturated than I originally thought. My idea wasn't original, as there were many types of coffee subscriptions, all promising to deliver you great coffee. And my customers were not having the experience I was having, and it was driving me crazy. One time we mailed out a coffee that was over $100 a pound. It had some of the best flavors I'd ever tasted. It was also one of the best coffees in the world, and no one was saying anything. I thought we had good customer development program to learn about their pains, but they weren't letting us know about their gains either. It was a turning point for the Right Cup, since the business model was not easily scalable with this huge issue. A few months later, I found myself in Tie 9 in Dayton, Ohio for lunch with a friend. I was sitting across from Taylor eating sushi with one eye on the wooden sushi boat sitting a table away. Taylor sat there in his black Duluth shirt and his reserved demeanor looking for the waiter. We were almost deafened from the gathering lunch crowd's laughter when I explained to him about my issue. I was like, we're shipping amazing coffee to our customers, but they're not having the same experience I'm having at home. What do you do for your coffee customers? He said, I just updated finishing a water system for my cafe, and sometimes I give my customers coffee or water to take home for their to brew their coffee, since their water is so bad in that area. I replied, do you think there's some way that we could condense your water to ship to my customers and then maybe mix with distilled? He joked back, we could dehydrate the water. And we both laughed at my frustration. But then he paused and said, well, actually, I could mix the minerals that should be in the water in the first place. I asked him if anyone else was doing this, and he didn't think so. A week later, I tried my first iteration. Purchased a gallon of distilled water, mixed it with a very sketchy looking plastic vial of minerals, brewed the first cup of coffee. Wow, this tasted amazing, but is it better than the water I already love using? So I filtered my water, brewed another cup of the same coffee. It worked. The mineral brewed coffee was so much better. The flavors are so much brighter and vibrant, and it was easy to mix. That was it. We ran full steam ahead, built the company in 30 days to launch in a specialty coffee trade show in October 2016, selling boxes with minerals to be added to distilled water to help you have the right water to brew coffee. The trade show validated that our assumptions were correct as the right people took notice. 2 months later, we funded a Kickstarter in 11 hours, doubling our original goal and quickly garnering the attention of national news. Every other day was a new news article, but nothing could have prepared us for what happened next. Taylor got an email that he almost deleted, but he decided to reply instead. It was from the producers of Shark Tank. Once he replied and we received their interest, we were both nervous to ruin the opportunity and hopped on the first call, which then turned into a second call and more. Within 8 months of launching Third Wave Water, we found ourselves standing behind 2 large transparent doors in ABC Studios, waiting for a cue to walk forward. The doors opened. We walked confidently down the hall until we stared face to face with 5 investors, but we couldn't say anything until the cameras were done focusing. Our only option was to stare back in the faces of the sharks who were waiting for us to begin the presentation. How in the world did we get here? That I had the tenacity to start a business later in life and see it through instead of remaining in the comfortable, familiar vocation. Today, the Right Cup is shifted to helping offices have the best local coffee, and Third Wave Water is fulfilling the mission to be the go-to water company in the specialty coffee industry. If you want the best coffee for your office, please visit therightcup.com, spelled with a W. And if you want to drink coffee like it was meant to be tasted, then visit thirdwavewater.com for more information. Thank you.
Oh my God, this has been a tough competition, but our judges were able to pick a winner. I'm going to announce the runner-up first, and the runner-up who will receive some in-kind services is Nebula HQ. So let's give Nebula a hometown applause. Nebula!
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the top winner, though, of all that money and all those services, I think it was like $4,200 and some dollars, I can't remember now, is AIM. So let's give AIM a bigger round of applause wherever you are right now in town, Dayton. Yay, AIM!
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
wow, that's pretty awesome.
I'm
Congratulations,
overwhelmed.
guys.
Congrats. Good job, man.
Yeah. Special thanks to Converge
Congratulations.
Technologies and O'Neill
Thank you.
Center for all that awesome donations to this worthy cause, and also to Lunch Dayton. I just want to say congratulations on a successful event and figuring out how to have a pitch competition during a coronavirus. I'm, of course, Amelia Robinson from Dayton Daily News, the Ideals and Voices page editor, and a podcaster and a columnist. I want to thank all of the awesome participants today. We had Vegan It Is Eats, Bless Me Sweets, Charmed by Riz, and the winners of the Main Street category, Cousins Meals, and of course, Safe participants in the innovation category, AIM, the winner, and Smart Slumber, and Delightfully Understandable, Illuma, and Nebula, the runner-up. Also want to thank the judges who gave of their time and their talents and expertise to judge this competition. Lauren Tiffin, Carlos Marsh, Belinda Matthew Stetson, Pam Cohn, and Erica Waite. Also want to thank you for tuning in to this, and be sure to check out other programs that Lunch Dayton has this week and throughout the year. I'm going to kick it over now to Audrey, who is going to close us out.
Cool. Thank you, Amelia, for being our MC tonight.
Good job.
Fabulous, as always. Thank you again, judges. Thank you again for all of our entrepreneurs pitching. Thanks O'Neill Center for sponsoring the pitch event. Thank you, Fifth Third Bank, Wright State Applied Research Corporation, and the Entrepreneur Center for being title sponsors for the week as a whole. We've also got some partner sponsors for the week, including 937 Payroll. So we saw Brian make a cameo for his other company, Nebula, earlier. So thank you, Brian, for being a partner sponsor, as well as Converge Technologies and Downtown Dayton Partnership. So we hope you'll all keep joining us throughout the week. Starting tomorrow, we kick off our industry-specific tracks. So if you're in the health, beauty, wellness space, or the med tech space, or the materials and manufacturing space, we've got lineups specifically for you starting tomorrow. And then we've got food and beverage on Thursday, and a track for defense entrepreneurs on Friday. So we hope you'll hang out with us a little bit more this week. And in the meantime, everybody, please have a good night. Thanks for sticking it out with us on this Tuesday night.